Hi everyone, welcome. I want to talk a little bit about why I'm teaching online again. I'm teaching online because I have to quarantine at home for a few days, okay, for about 2 weeks, okay? So I'll still be teaching you. I'm still here. I'm just at home teaching you from home, all right? If you guys have any questions, if you don't understand anything, Miss Selena is there. I am here. Please let us know and we'll try our best to help you. So the system that we're going to be doing is kind of the same as what we have been doing before coming back to in-person learning, which is I still record the videos. Instead of you opening up the Google Classroom and getting it yourself, Miss Selena will open up the link for you and you're going to still watch me teach you. But instead of doing it at home, you're going to do the work in class and Miss Selena is going to help guide you on what to do and when to do it, okay? All right. I hope you guys are all safe. I hope you guys are all doing really well with Miss Selena. I hope you guys aren't giving her a hard time. Okay? And I know you won't. I know you guys are really the best kids ever. So I'm not worried about that at all. All right, let's go ahead and pick up where we left off. So we left off on module 4.5. This is the last module of this section, counting with equal parts. So let's read the problem. And remember, equal parts, that's where we said that a whole is cut into equal parts, and then the parts they have to be equal for it to be a fraction. If not all of the pieces or parts are equal, then it's called unequal parts, right? All right, let's read. Aria has two same size ribbons. Oh, I'm sorry, before I start, you need your Go Math books open, just making sure. You should probably already have it, but if you don't, your books need to be open and you're following along with me, okay? This is page 139 in your Go Math book. All right, let's read. Aria has two same size ribbons. She cuts each ribbon into 8 equal parts. She uses 14 parts. What is another way to write the amount of ribbon she used? So let's see. What information am I given? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to break apart all that information that they gave us because there's a lot in there. It says Aria has what? She has two same size ribbons. She cuts each ribbon into 8 equal parts. That means she cuts them into eighths. She only uses 14 parts. What is another way to write the amount of ribbon she used? Underline your question. Tomorrow when you get your test, you're going to do the same thing. You have to show your work on your test, guys. You have to underline the question, circle the numbers, underline the labels, what's important, okay? All right. So there are how many ribbons? There are blank ribbons. There are 2 ribbons. Very good. And that are cut into how many equal parts? They're cut into 8 equal parts. Awesome job. Aria uses how many parts? She uses 14 parts. So there's not really much thinking here. You just have to read and break apart the information, kind of like what we do in our morning work, right? When we have that word problem. So what is my plan or strategy? You're going to use the fraction strips. These are called fraction strips to solve the problem. To what? To solve. So S-O-L-V-E, solve. That looks like a 5, but I meant to write an S. Anyway, to solve the problem. Make sure you're writing this down, okay? Don't just look at me. All right. Show how you solve the problem. Shade to model the parts of ribbon she used. How many parts did she use? Our Aria uses 14 parts. So we're going to color in 14 parts. So this is her 2 ribbons. 1 ribbon, 2 ribbon. Each ribbon she cut into 8 parts. That's 8 parts. That's 8 parts. She used 14. So she used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You can color those parts in, but because I'm using a mouse, I'm just going to cross them out. All right, so she uses 14 parts. The question is, Aria used how many parts? Well, she used this whole ribbon, right? So she used this entire ribbon. So she used one whole ribbon. And how many parts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of this 8, right? So she used one whole, W-H-O-L-E, which is this right here. This is a whole. She used one whole, and then she used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of the 8. How do we say that in fraction form? 6/8. Everyone say that. 6/8. Very good. So then you're going to write one whole and 6/8. EIGHTHS. One whole and 6/8. The big word for using this is called a mixed fraction. But for now, we just want to learn that Aria used that whole first ribbon. She used the entire thing. And then she still had needed more, so then she used 6 out of the 8 more of the second ribbon. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and keep going. So use fraction strips to solve. So these are fraction strips. They give it to you. There's nothing that you have to look for or use whatever. They drew it for you. We're just going to start shading them in. Now you can shade these in with color pencil if you would like, or you can just use your pencil, whatever you want. Okay? So if you want to use color pencil, you can pause the video now while you get that out. All right, now we're going to move on. It says draw to show your model. What information am I given, and what is my plan or strategy? Well, let's read the problem. Remember, when you read the problem, you show your strategies. How do I do that, Ms. Youssef? I circle the numbers, I underline what's important, and I underline my questions. Okay? So Jake bakes 2 same-sized loaves of bread. So he bakes 2 same-sized. 1, 2. Look, they already drew the loaves of bread for us. He cuts each into 4 equal parts. See, look, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. He cuts each of them into 4 equal parts. He and his friends eat 6 parts. So if they eat 6 parts, then those 6 parts are now gone, right? They ate them. Which is another way, underline the question, what is another way to write the amount of bread they ate? So how many parts did they eat? 6. So how many parts do you think we're going to color in? 6. So we're going to color in 6 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Very good. You colored in 6 parts. I didn't color in 6 parts, but you can. Okay, now that 6 parts are colored in, let's see how much did they eat. They ate 1 whole loaf of bread, right? They ate this whole loaf of bread. And then they ate 2/4 of the second one. So they ate 1, oops, let me erase that. I'll try that again. They ate 1 whole and how many pieces of the second loaf? 2. And how many pieces are there altogether? 4. 4ths. 4ths. There we go. So they ate 1 whole and 2/4 of the loaves. Okay, let's keep going. Mr. Bailey cuts 2 equal lengths of poster board in a half. So this is 1 poster board, this is 2 poster board. He cuts each of them in a half. Okay? Half means how many equal parts? It means 2 equal parts. So these are the 2 poster boards, 1 poster board, 2 poster board. He cuts, he cuts them in a half, so 1, 2, 1, 2, that's a half. He uses 3 parts for a project. How much parts does he use? 3 parts. So those 3 parts are going to be taken out. What is another way to write the amount of poster board he used? So he used 3 parts. He used 1, 2, 3. So you can color in those 3 parts, and then you have to write down how much he used. I want you to think about it for a second. How much did he use? He used 1 whole part, which is this. He used 1 whole poster board and 1/2, right? So he used 1 whole and 1/2, Why 1/2, Miss Yusuf? Because on the second poster board, he only used one part of those two parts. And when something is cut into two equal parts, it's cut into a half. So he used 1 whole and 1/2. Okay, make sure you're writing this down and not just dozing off to La La Land. All right, I want you to try to do number 3 by yourself. I'm going to read it to you, but I want you to try to do it by yourself, okay? Lily is writing a comic strip that has 2 rows. Make sure you circle what I circle. Each row is made of 4 equal boxes. So she has 2 rows. This is 1 row. This is 2 row, right? This is 1 row. This is 2 row. The row is the whole thing. 1 row, 2 row. And each one is cut into 4 equal boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this one's cut into 1, 2, 3, 4. She has drawn a picture for 5. She has drawn a picture for 5 of the boxes. So how many? 5 of the boxes. What is another way to write the number of boxes with pictures in them? So we are going to color in how many of these boxes. We're going to color in 5 of the boxes. So color in 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how many of the boxes did she use? With pictures in them, right? How many boxes have pictures in them? How many did she use? She used 1 whole, so you're going to write 1 whole, and what? 1 out of the 4 pieces here. So how do you say that in fraction? 1/4. Very good. So she used 1 whole and 1/4. Everyone say that. 1 whole and 1/4. All right, I want you to write that down here by yourself. All right, after you're done with that, we are going to move on. Number 4 and 5, before we start that, we're going to watch Professor Berger and see if he could help us out.
Outside Emma's house. Well, rumor has it, she's making sandwiches for herself and her brothers. Oh, I'm told she's going to be cutting each sandwich into 8. That's right, 8 equal parts.
Wait, Joey, this just in. She and her brothers just ate 20 parts. Quick, get back to the studio.
On my way.
Finally.
Hey,
well, this is a great riddle. Do you want to try it together?
I do.
Okay, so Emma made 3 sandwiches and cut each sandwich into 8 equal parts.
That's right.
Okay, now she and her brothers ate 20 parts.
A lot of sandwiches, folks.
Exactly. And so the question is, what is another way to write the amount of sandwiches they ate? That's the challenge for us. And the great way to think about this, reporter Joey, is to, and you can quote me on this, thank you, is to actually model the 3 sandwiches, and I'm just going to use rectangles. So there's lots of ways of modeling various quantities. So here we see 3 sandwiches, and we see that already we could...
By the way, you're going to get a question like that on the test where they want you to model. What they mean by model is draw it out. So they want you to draw out what they're telling you and literally cut it into how many pieces they're telling you to cut it into. So watch Professor Berger as he does that. Pay close attention here.
See, they're divided into 8 equal parts. I'll just count this top one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Wow.
Exactly.
A long sandwich.
It's a long, long sandwich. And what we see is since they're equal parts, we know each one represents an 1/8. And we have 3 sandwiches. Now, since they ate 20 parts, all we have to do is shade 20 of these little teeny parts. So we have 8 up at the top, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It sounds like you're hungry already. So here's 8 colored in. And then if we shade in another 8, that's going to be 8 plus 8, which is 16. So we're not quite to 20, right? We have to now figure out how much more we have to put on. So that's 16, 17, 18, and you count the rest.
19, 20.
Exactly. So we're going to stop right there.
20 parts. 20 parts.
So we need 4 parts of the last sandwich right in there. And that represents, we've now shaded in a total of 20 parts. So check it out. Notice that we have 2 whole sandwiches that were eaten, and we have an extra 4/8 of the third sandwich. And so what do we conclude? We conclude that 2 and 4/8 of the sandwich. And so we see that Emma and her brothers ate 2 and 4/8 sandwiches. 2, the first entire wholes of the sandwiches, and then 4/8 of the third sandwich.
Gripping stuff, Professor Burger. So what you're telling me is that there are still some delicious peanut butter and banana sandwiches at Emma's house?
I suppose I am.
This just in. Numberjet reporter Joey is on his way back to Emma's house for a late lunch. Professor Burger, you'll have to finish up here.
Okay. If for whatever reason, because technology doesn't always go our way, if for whatever reason it wasn't loud enough or you couldn't see it, there was something that you couldn't see or didn't understand, Miss Selena, I have this open already on the Google Chrome. It's the tab that says Think Central. So just go ahead and click on the one that says Module 4 4.5 and you guys can watch it again. That's forever for if it's not clear enough for you want to rewatch it. Okay, if you're not sure how to do that, text me and I'll walk you through it. It's super easy. All right, moving on. So let's read number 4. Emma made 3 sandwiches. So look, they drew pictures of 3 sandwiches. I'm going to change my color to purple. So 1 sandwich, 2, or here I'll write 1 sandwich, 2 sandwich, 3 sandwich, right? So Emma made 3 sandwiches and cut each sandwich into 2 equal parts. That means she cut each sandwich into a half. Very good. She and her brothers ate how many parts? They ate 5 parts. So how many parts will I color in? 5 parts. What is another way to write the amount of sandwiches they ate? So first we're going to color it in and then we'll figure that out. So they ate 5 parts. They ate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're going to color in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to look at this and see how many parts did they eat. Well, here, this is a whole sandwich. They ate this whole sandwich, right? This is a whole sandwich. They ate this whole sandwich, right? So how many whole sandwiches did they eat this time? Is it just 1 whole sandwich or 2 whole sandwiches? They ate 2 whole sandwiches. So this time it's 2 wholes, and then they just ate 1 part of this one. So that's 2 wholes and 1 half. So you're going to write that here. 2 wholes, 2 whole, and 1 half. Okay. 1 half. Please make sure you're writing this down and not just looking at the sky aimlessly. Okay. All right. Moving on. Let's look at number 5. This is all getting pretty easy. You just really have to think about it as a whole and as a part. Okay. A part is the pieces inside of a whole, and a whole is the whole shape, the whole whatever it is, pizza, brownie, sandwich, whatever it may be. Okay. Let's look at the next one. It says James has 2 same size strings. So here are his strings. They're the same size. He has 2 of them. That's 1 string. That's 2 strings. Okay. He cuts each string into 8 equal size pieces. So this one is cut into 8 pieces. This one is cut into 8 pieces. He uses how many of those pieces? He uses 11 of those pieces. So we're going to color in 11 parts. 1, or 11 pieces. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The question is, how much of the string did he use? How much of the string was not used? So they're asking you this the way that they have been, and then they kind of flip the question on the second one. So let's look at the first part. How much of the string did he use? Well, we know he used 11 of those pieces, and we know that he has 16 pieces because each string has 8 and 8, and 8 and plus 8 is 16, right? So we know he used 11 of those pieces, so we know he used one whole, right? This is a whole. He used all of that. He used one whole, and then he used 3 out of how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He used one whole and 3/8. Okay? So here, this is just what we have been doing. One whole, and then 3/8. Okay, that's THS. All right, anyway, so he used one whole and 3/8. Then they flipped it. How much of the string was not used? Well, then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 out of 8 that's not used. So we have 5/8 of the string was not used, right? So 5/8 was not used. 5/8. All right, moving on. I want you to go ahead and do number 6, 7, and 8, and 9 by yourself. And Miss Selena is going to come around and make sure you're doing it right, okay? When she says you did number 6, 7, and 8 correctly, and she's checked off your work, then you can go ahead and work on the yellow page on your own. If you do not finish the yellow page before PE, then it'll have to be homework, so make sure you finish it, okay? Don't waste your time. All right. Have fun learning math, and if you have any questions, let me know. I'm still here for you guys, all right? See you later.